What's going on, everybody? You know that I'm a fan of slavery, undeniably. And I was listening to a podcast with Crypto Gang, and Ohim said some things that I've been saying for a while. I'm going to break in with his commentary and explain to you why things happen the way they happen. But then the last 10 minutes, I'm going to let it flow because he's on the mark. So, enjoy this clip from Crypto Gang. I'm going to step in here and there. But really, I'm going to let my man flow because this is information that men need to understand, not only about life and about being a man instead of just being black, but also about these goofy ass toddlers. Because a lot of these ailments come from people going for the weakest target, women being the weakest target, and liberals using women to indoctrinate you guys. So, let's get into this.
Let me bring this up. Gentlemen, your poverty is your submission. Right now, they are trying to indoctrinate your children. They are trying to teach them the ways of the so called progressives. They are trying to completely rework their synapses and get them to think like leftists. They're trying to introduce them to things early. You think it was a mistake? How many of y'all are currently in NYC? If you in NYC, do you remember when they put up pre-K for all and they were basically saying that pre-K starts at 3 years old? Kids can go to pre-K as early as 3 years old.
Just want to say real quick, that was not just in New York. That may have been in every liberal city in America because Chicago had it too, so did Detroit, and they're still doing it to this day. And as a sidebar, it's not a part of public school. That's why it's called pre-K. Those teachers have to have a separate budget outside of the educational budget in order for those children to go to school at 3 years old. But I'm going to address that in a minute.
Remember back in the day when you either went to school at 4 or 5 years old. Now it's as early as three.
I'm going to say this real quick. The reason that kids can go to school as early as 3 years old, he's about to talk about babysitting, so I'm going to let it rock. I'll subvert what he's going to say about babysitters getting cut out. The reason that babysitters were enacted and then public schools say, yo, we'll take some of that babysitting money is because these toddlers do not want to raise their kids. They're horrible parents. They're horrible people. So the more that women decide to be single mothers or yell stepdaddy season and they find the weakest men to reproduce with or to bring in so they can still have full control of the family and he's just basically a figurehead that's there. She wants to promote fights. The more you'll see this. I wouldn't be surprised if they start preschool at 2 pretty soon because they want to indoctrinate your kids even younger and it's voluntary. So it's only possible because these women are horrible parents and they'll give their child to anyone except the biological father. If you have a title, you can get a child. I'm a minister. You know why I became a minister? Because I know black women to give me their sons. So if I wanted to start a boys club at the time, I became a minister. But now I'm getting more into wanting to just separate and start a boarding school town. They'll give me their kids. They're like, oh my God, it's a minister starting a boarding school. We're going to send our kids there at 2 years old because they don't give a shit about their kids except on picture day. They just want their kids to grow and they get all the credit. They want men to do all the work and they get all the credit. This is why it's so easy to indoctrinate people as children and so hard to take away the programming when they become adults because they've been ingratiated in this programming their entire life. But I'm gonna let Ohim rock out.
Let me know. They had this campaign pre-K for all. Now, here's the first thing. That took a lot of money out of the pockets of you know, people who were babysitters, right? So there were a lot of people that pretty much were babysitting kids, and that was their little hustle. And what NYC did was they stole that money from out of their pockets. So this is to let you know that the government is designed to work against you. You see what I'm saying? It's designed to work against you. They wanted the kids as early as 3 because they want to indoctrinate them, right? They want to indoctrinate them into a new system, a new way of understanding, because the goal is to create slaves.
I just realized I was on mute. Look, I agree. I also want slaves because power requires obedience. I'm not mad at the government for wanting slaves. Don't cut it out. Just cut me in. Cut me in, boss. Just cut me in. Let's go back to Ohim.
Right? And this is why we have so many conflicts here. This is why there's a conflict between genders. That's why there's a conflict between race. Because when people are taught to operate on autopilot and not think for themselves, you get what you have today, the confusion, right? The gender confusion, the sexual confusion, all of these different things. That's what you get. Let me show you a perfect example of when people's brains operate on autopilot. They don't even think about what they're saying because all they're doing is regurgitating garbage that was taught to them since they were children. Let me bring this up.
Hi, I'm Ophelia Jacobson with Campus Reform. Today I'm at the University of Florida talking with students about bodily autonomy. Pro-choice students often echo the common refrain, my body, my choice. But do students apply that same logic when it comes to the hot button issue of vaccine mandates? Will students recognize the double standard with their line of thinking? Let's find out. Before we get started talking about vaccine mandates, I just want to get your general opinion. Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
I'm pro-choice. I think women have the right to decide what they want to do with their bodies, and also you never know the situation.
Pro-choice. I don't think that I have a right to force my decision on someone else's body.
I'm pro-choice. You never know the circumstances that people are going through.
I'm pro-choice. The truth is that no one is in your body but you, and it's your life that you have to live.
I am pro-life. It's just like I was always born and raised that way. I'm Catholic, so that's the main reason.
I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice because you can't tell me what to do.
I'm pro-choice.
I'm pro-choice.
Pro-life. I don't know. That's just kind of what I grew up believing.
So you don't think the government should tell you what you can do with your body?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want the government telling you what to do with your body?
No.
Correct.
Would you agree with?
So you see that, guys? So basically, all the 304s, all the chicks that came to campus because they want to get dug out by the football team and, passed around by the basketball team, they don't agree that the government has a right to invade their bodies, right? They're telling you, hey, I'm I'm pro-choice. A woman has the right to choose my body, my choice, all of that good shit, right? So now, here's where we start to see that all they're doing is regurgitating bullshit that was repeated to them on a consistent basis. They are not thinking for themselves. They are basically regurgitating the indoctrinated bullshit that they have been taught all of their lives. So here we go, gentlemen.
The idea of my body, my choice.
Of course, yeah. Once you get a certain age, you kind of know what is good for your body, what's not good for your body, and you can make decisions based on that.
So then when we're talking about vaccine mandates, government vaccine mandates, are you for or against them?
I'm for it. I'm vaccinated.
I would say that I guess I am more for a mandate if it is in support of the general health of the population.
I am for them. Yeah.
I would be okay with the vaccine mandate.
I agree with government mandates.
Guys, so you see how quickly that changed? See, when it comes to being a 304, when it comes to being a thought, when it comes to being passed around, when it comes to being used up and being a DNA shake, right? When it comes to being loose and promiscuous, then it's my body, it's my choice. But now when we come to the mandates of people being forced to get jabs, now all of a sudden, therefore, government invading your body. Do you see what I'm talking about? Your poverty is your submission. This is your future, these brain dead zombies who simply operate based on what they're told to do. So when it comes to putting babies in blenders, we're all for that. But when it comes to, I don't know what that foreign substance is, and I don't trust it, and I don't like it in my body, all of a sudden, they are wholeheartedly for it. Do you see? This is why we don't listen to them.
Pause real quick. I just want to say this. I'm going to let him keep rocking. But the way that he just described how toddlers follow doctrines, and one literally said, I believe in government. Then she said mandates. But she believes in government. But she doesn't understand government. All she knows is the logo said it. They follow the logo. And they follow instructions. You have to train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.
Because, yes, you are right, brother from down under. You are absolutely right. They are the brothers, the new poor, right? Because these are the idiots that are getting into $80, $90, $100,000 worth of school debt, and now they're gonna have to get out there and get those $35,000, $45,000 a year jobs, and pay 70% of their check back to paying off that loan, because your poverty is your submission. So while they're drowning in debt and struggling and suffering, this is their mindset. If it comes to putting babies in blenders, we're all for that. But when it comes to you not wanting to put foreign substances into your body, now the government has a right to break in your home, hold you down, and force you to take it, or take away your job, or make sure you don't have access to funds. This is what's out there. This is what's happening. Let's go. Let me bring that back one more time.
I grew up believing.
So you don't think the government should tell you what you can do with your body?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want the government telling you what to do with your body?
No.
Correct. Would you agree with the idea of my body, my choice?
Of course, yeah. Once you get a certain age, you kind of know what is good for your body, what's not good for your body, and you can make decisions based on that.
So then when we're talking about vaccine mandates, government vaccine mandates, are you for or against them?
I'm for it. I'm vaccinated.
Okay. Look at this one. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we can't deal with the BAW. This is why it is important that you get your passport, because I want you to see what she says about putting babies in blend, right?
Would you agree with the idea of my body, my choice?
Of course, yeah. Once you get a certain age, you kind of know what is good for your body, what's not good for your body, and you can make decisions based on that.
So she's telling you, when it comes to putting babies in blenders, you know what's good for your body. You know what's good for you. You know what you're doing. Now, look at what she has to say about vaccines.
I'm for it. I'm vaccinated.
I would say that I guess I am more for a mandate if it is in support of the general health of the population.
I am for them. Yeah.
I would be okay with the vaccine mandate.
I agree with government mandates.
She said, yo, look at this one. She said, I agree with government. Check this out.
With the vaccine mandate.
I agree with government.
So when it comes to being a 304, when it comes to putting babies in blenders, she ain't with that. Yeah, I mean, she with that, right? When it comes to being a 304, when it comes to putting babies in blenders, she agrees with that. But when it comes to violating your body with foreign substances,
I agree with government mandates.
I am for, but I see where you're going with this.
I see where you're going with this.
I have to say against, because
they feel stupid. They feel stupid. So look at how they answer.
I am for, but I see where you're going with this.
I see where you're going with this.
So you see that? All of a sudden, now you don't want to play because now you realize how stupid you look. But the problem is you are just a talking clown. You're just a talking idiot. You are indoctrinated into a system, right?
We already understand. Nothing Tyler say with clothes on matters. Don't listen. Okay.
Right? So now you don't know what to say after it, so you just got offended because you don't have an argument. Because now that you done already played yourself and say, yeah, we shouldn't be told what to do, now here you come being basically showing that you are contradicting yourself. And that's what that is. Shorty right here is the only real one. Hold on 1 second.
I have to say against, because like I said, you can't tell me what to do. You can't be pro-choice and not approve of people's choices. You know what I mean? It's a choice. So
then what happened to the my body, my choice argument in that circumstance?
I feel like that's regarding, well, I guess, you kind of caught me. That was really good.
See? So
All right, guys, we're going to cut it off there. This is what you got to understand. That people, in general, people follow a system. But that system is created and controlled for the benefit of the person who creates the system. Women don't create systems. Women just manipulate systems. Women don't build stuff. They don't create stuff. They depend on the benevolence of men for them to get their way. That's fine. Because when men are on top, men want a woman. When women are on top, they don't need a man. So everything that benefits women is anti-man, anti-family, anti-community, anti-nation, really, because they're all globalists. When men create a system, everybody's happy. Except, women are never really happy, but happy as women can be. Everybody's happy. The kids are happy and safe. The men are prospering. Everybody's educated properly when men create a system for men. When men create a system for women, then the kids go to school at 3 years old after they just left the babysitter 2 years before then. There's no ties to family, there's no bonding, there's no love, there's no progression. There's only a lot of debt that people call freedom, which leads to slavery. So on that note, shout out to Ohim and the Crypto Gang for this excerpt. As always, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack.